Hey, what up y'all? Mr. Cruz here, the latest teacher you've never had, back with another video. Today's video is going to be a little different. I'm going to be giving you guys a tour of my studio, show you my lab, my setup, the equipment that I have, maybe the specs of my computer and all that jazz. So come on, let's take a look. All right, y'all, so this is my setup. This is what it looks like. Sorry for the shakiness there. This room is actually really small. So when we bought the house, kind of one of the things that we wanted to have is like, well, one of the things that I wanted to have was a room that was dedicated to my music. And it seemed like this room was kind of previously as a nursery, was painted previously as a nursery, used as a nursery. But just to run through some of the equipment that I have here. So I've got, let me go ahead and say, look, there's barely enough room for this milk stained couch that I've had for several years. That's my kid. That's not my kid, but my kid made the stains. So here I'm running 3 different monitors. If you've ever used Reason before, Reason utilizes 3 windows. So it has like the mixer window, the sequencer window, and then the rack window. I know in most other DAWs, like in Logic, they utilize 2 windows because this is kind of where we have our plugins, but they're called racks in Reason. So I know in Logic that they usually have these somewhere in the actual mixer window. And then I've got my keyboard, my Midi controller. So my Midi controller is actually some generic brand. I mean, MIDI, I don't even know what MIDI Man or Radium is. Bought it on Amazon for probably like 40 bucks or so like that. And actually the one that I had previously had broken. One of the faders had messed up, and then I bought this one, and then it turns out it's like the exact same model and design. It's just kind of named differently. I've got 2 KRK Rockets 5, 2 KRK 5, and I bought those on eBay for, I want to say it was like $150, so it was like half of what they normally would have cost. And let's see here, what else? If you can see right there, that's my webcam that I use for either when I'm streaming or when I'm making my tutorials. And then I've got Scarlett 2i2 interface that I use. That's my stepbrother had bought me, not he bought me that, but I bought that off of him several years ago. But man, that thing has served me faithfully after I can't even remember. It was the one that comes with, I think it was like an M box, an M audio one had like finally stopped updating because not my DAW, but because my operating system was too old. And then I've got my ring light here that I also use. See if I can get the plug for a second. Bam. So my ring light that I use when I'm shooting tutorials or when I'm streaming, once again, you know, you gotta have the Star Wars calendar here. So today's Tuesday. Ooh, Grand Moff Tarkin. Bad dude. Made him look pretty good in the new videos, in like the new movies. And I've got a Google, right, a little Google Home Mini that it is obviously serves as a speaker, but I mainly use it to change my lights. Like, check this out. Okay, Google, change the studio lights to magenta. Hey, so now we kind of get like branding colors going along. So this is usually how it looks like when I'm cooking up in the middle of the night, just to kind of like set the mood and whatnot. Okay, Google, change the studio lights to cool white. Boom, there we go. My computer. So this is a Mac Pro 3.1. It is from 2008, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's from 2008. So that means this desktop computer that I use is over 10 years old. So I believe that makes it 12 years old. I'm filming this in 2020. So this thing is about 12 years old. And boy, this thing. Next, we got my desktop computer, sorry, my iPhone. I had to cut it in because the storage was too full. So this is my desktop computer. This is a Mac 3.1. It's from 2012. Is it from 2012? No, it's from 2008. So that makes this computer over 12 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Over 12 years old computer that I have here. So this thing is running, I think Catalina is the last thing that it's on it. I can't remember, but essentially this thing is long past the end of its life. I can't upgrade the OS anymore. There are a lot of plugins that I can't use because it's so old, but I'm getting a new computer and then hopefully be able to level my game up. I got some Sony MDRs that I've had. Man, I've had that same model. This is the second one. No, this is the third one that I've bought, but I've had that same kind of headphones for probably like 10 years, man. They're just really, really good. I just don't like the coil thing because it's so freaking long. This right here is my record player. So I bought this on Best Buy for like 40 bucks with like a gift card. I used to sample a lot of records, used to really be into it, but my old record player broke, so then I got a new one, and so now I've got that one that I'm looking forward to I've already used it a couple times, but I'm looking forward to getting some more sampling done. As you can kind of see here, I got some Harry Belafonte. He's got a really dope song on here on this record that I've been wanting to sample again for some years, so I'm gonna be getting into that later. AC unit, because there is no AC in this room. No ventilation, no nothing. This room gets really, really toasty. So I had to install my little box, little fan unit. PS3, some BioShock going, my jam. I've got a couple of window treatments, some room treatments. There's not a whole lot, and as you can see, kind of one of them is falling off. I figure anything is better than nothing. I know one of the kind of key things is to have it behind your speaker, but I think the reason was if I had it behind my speaker, it wouldn't be able to be leveled because I can fit one behind there, but I can't kind of fit this behind here because of the light. But I don't know, I might do a little something to that eventually. There's a nice little pull-out couch here. Not necessarily, not a futon, but it's kind of like it's not a trundle, like lifts up and whatnot. But here's kind of the cool thing about this couch is it has a secret compartment. And then in here I kind of have some other stuff that I use. So this is my old laptop that I used to use, but the screen kind of crapped out on me. Plus that one was 8 years old. No, actually no, even more. That one was 10 years old, so that one also crapped out on me. But I kind of keep a lot of miscellaneous stuff in here. There's a mic that I use when I'm shooting tutorials, some cleaning supplies, some blankets and whatnot. Over here I've got my records. So I've been collecting these records. I don't really collect a whole lot. I usually end up getting a whole bunch either when somebody gives them to me or for example, like my brother, he flips houses and he recently bought a house that had a whole bunch of records in there, so he mailed some to me. And then like family members will like, hey man, I found a bunch of records, you want them? And that's usually how I'll come across a lot of these records. Most of them I've either gotten for free or kind of gotten from like a dollar bin at a record store. I was sampling some Billy Joel recently. Best. That's my favorite record right there. And then kind of a little cable hider that I've been wanting to do because that's my Ethernet cable kind of going from the attic. That's a long story, but I had to do that because the Wi-Fi kept crapping out. It's just a box of miscellaneous stuff, but this is my little mic setup. Nothing fancy, nothing too huge. The mic that I use is actually plugged into my scissor mic right here. This is mainly because, like, when I'm doing like Zoom meetings, since I'm a teacher and I had to, teach remotely over the past couple months. So I had my mic set up here. This is an AT2035 from Audio Technica. I have had this mic for, I want to say about way more than that. I've had it for more than 10 years. But man, Audio Technica, that's my brand. I've also, let me see if I can find it in here. Yeah. So I kind of got like some more rags and cables up in there. Hold on a second here. So this is a Rode NT1A. Really popular mic. I know a lot of people have this, but this mic is super sensitive. So I don't use it very often because it's so sensitive. Like I really don't need to record such sensitive sounds. Not sensitive sounds, but I don't really need to record with such volume. This one has much better volume control, so that's why I use the Audio Technica one. But this is my little boom mic setup. Not boom mic, but my little mic stand. Just kind of a little bit of a isolation pad behind it. Yeah, and some pop filters. Also got like another scissor mic. I also got another scissor mic here behind my door. That's from when I bought a second one when I was doing a podcast several years ago, and then just kind of some miscellaneous stuff. And then up here, I've got my toys. I wouldn't even really say toys. All right, so here's kind of like the story behind this. Is all of these have been gifts usually from my wife's side of the family, because like one of the things they know about me is that I like Star Wars, and and so Christmases, birthdays, Father's Days, any kind of holiday, they usually like buy me stuff like this. Except these were like shampoo bottles, but I used them all, so then I put them up. And I've got some like video games, and then the first version of Reason, I think this was Reason 6. Let's see which one this was. No, version 7. So this was Reason 7, the one I actually started on 4, but the 4 that I had was the bootleg version. And then when I actually bought my first authentic version, it was Reason 7. But yeah, there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are watching this on like social media, or if I know on YouTube you can't post pictures, but if you're watching this on anywhere else, like Twitter, Facebook, shoot me a picture or a video of your studio setup, man. I would love to see what you guys are working with. I also forgot to mention that I'm currently running Reason 11 Suite. So I upgraded that maybe like a month ago. But that's the DAW that I'm using, in case anybody was wondering. It's your boy, Mr. Cruz, out.